Today in crypto, insanely bullish news really just across the board today. We have payment giant Visa partnering with Ethereum's USDC in one of the biggest crypto adoption stories of 2020. We have the Bitcoin supply crisis, which is continuing to heat up. PayPal volumes are rising. We have another big fund closing $150 million crypto raise. Add into all of that we may be getting ready to test 20K again. Very, very exciting. My name is Lark, and this is where you subscribe for all of the hottest and all of the latest happening out here in the wild, wild land of crypto. By the way, Wealth Mastery Investor Report members, make sure to check your inboxes. This week's report is out now. In this issue, I discuss how to keep safe when using DeFi, which is a particularly pertinent reminder considering we've just seen like $100 million lost to DeFi exploits in the last 2 weeks. We also look at the top Bitcoin mining stocks. Jesse has a report for you on Mike Novogratz's newest altcoin purchase, Terra Luna. DeFi Dad has a tutorial on how to automate cash flows with PowerPool. Forrest discusses how Ethereum competitors like Cardano can actually try to capture market share from the big boy. The team from Kira Network joins us for an interview on how they are enabling staking of any asset in DeFi, and of course, Rect Capital, as always, with the top tier technical analysis. This week, he's actually looking at some altcoin trades as well to have on your radar. So you're going to get all of that and much, much more, making Wealth Mastery one of the most value-packed and affordable investor reports out on the market. So if you're not a member yet, do click on the link down below to learn more about becoming a member. Okay, so let's talk about Bitcoin. It's that time, guys. Bitcoin time. Bitcoin right now is sitting just above $19,000. It is forming a symmetrical triangle right now. Remember, this is a chart pattern that does not give us a strong bias towards a bullish breakout or a bearish breakdown. But in an uptrending market, it does tend to act as a continuation pattern. In that situation, the breakout target to the upside would be $20,800, meaning that we can finally bust out the champagne, have a good time, celebrate cracking 20K. But $20,000, that is some very, very heavy resistance. Breaking that new all-time high past 20K may not be that easy. Every time we have hit new highs in the upper 19,000s, the sellers, mainly the whales and the miners, they step in and start offloading stock. Our previous 2 attempts to crack $20,000 have failed because of that. But at some point, those guys run low on ammunition. With the macro picture looking the way it is right now, Bitcoin is simply not going to stay under 20K forever. It's just not. That being said, the breakdown target for this pattern is around $17,000. Now, what is the case for a breakdown happening? Well, of course, that's that tough resistance and a strong rejection at 20,000, but also the RSI is currently showing a bearish divergence with the price rising, but the RSI falling. In fact, we did just confirm a lower high on the RSI as well, really kind of cementing that bearish divergence we're seeing coming in, meaning that we could see the price cooling off now that we have had this epic run over the last month. The most important areas of support right now to be watching, $18,100 and $16,300. These are the bottoms of the 2 most recent big wicks down, so keep an area on those. If you're shopping for cheap BTC, they are interesting areas to put in some buy orders. I also have this data here from Glassnode for you, which shows that the net unrealized profit loss, or the NUPL index, has reached a level that has historically launched the price of Bitcoin into just a mega rally. So in the past, when the indicator moves beyond 0.62, which it's doing right now, it has resulted in a major price breakout ranging from 600 to 3,000%. And that's a pretty damn big range, on either side there. But if we do see it acting again as this breakout indicator, then we'll see Bitcoin somewhere between 130,000 to 590,000. This market's just getting started, guys, so keep on stacking those sats. Even if we do see some corrections, just buy the dips, keep on moving forward. It's super crazy time to be in Bitcoin. Next up, I have a quick update for you on really the supply crisis for Bitcoin. So we're looking at PayPal and what they've been up to. So if we look at the ItBit volume, it shows that the PayPal volume is picking up quite a bit. Now, ItBit is the exchange owned by Paxos. Paxos is where PayPal is getting their Bitcoin from on behalf of their customers for their custody service on the platform. Now, this shows us that every day PayPal users are buying 1,200 Bitcoin, which further outlines the supply side crisis for Bitcoin. Sure, some of that could be people selling on ItBit, but I think we've seen this massive volume spike on ItBit because of PayPal buying. Remember, only 900 Bitcoin are mined every single day. This volume for PayPal is about 2 times as well what it was 2 weeks ago, showing very steady growth for their crypto offering. Now, what is also quite noteworthy here is that 1/3 of the purchases being made by PayPal users, Ethereum. They're buying Ethereum, guys. Yes, they're buying Bitcoin at a 2-to-1 rate versus Ethereum, but it does show that there is a big interest in ETH from retail buyers on the platform. Also, NYDIG, the New York Digital Investment Group, is in the news again. This time they have raised $150 million for 2 different crypto-related funds. Now, Fund 1 raised $50 million exclusively for Bitcoin. Fund 2, however, raised $100 million for a fund that appears to go beyond just Bitcoin, although it was not made clear by NYDIG exactly what was in that fund. My suspicion, they're starting to offer Ethereum to investors. Remember, we already have significant proof that institutional investors want Ethereum. 1 in 3 Grayscale clients are buying altcoins, predominantly Ethereum. NYDIG would be crazy to miss out on this opportunity. Demand is red hot right now from institutions for access to Bitcoin, and increasingly we are seeing a big appetite coming in for institutions for Ethereum. Now, that being said, you have to remember that NYDIG is a predominantly Bitcoin-oriented fund. In fact, they're one of the biggest Bitcoin funds after Grayscale. And today's announcement essentially means that a few thousand more Bitcoin has been gobbled up for long-term hodling by institutions. Again, we are definitely right now in the midst of a supply side crisis for Bitcoin. This is why we've gone, up to almost touch $20,000 over the last few weeks. We have this just flood of institutions coming in. Dips are being aggressively bought, record amounts of institutional interest, seeing just thousands of Bitcoin a day being bought up and locked away. This is how the price of Bitcoin gets to 100,000 to 200,000 to 300,000. These numbers, they might sound kind of crazy to you right now, but when we look back in, 2023, 2025, whatever, it will have all seemed just so obvious. That's why we have to buy Bitcoin now. Also, the NYDIG story comes a day after we had the CEO of BlackRock, the biggest asset manager in the world, saying that Bitcoin, although still a small market, has a massive upside potential as it can evolve into a global market. Obviously, it's great to see, again, these just really big wig investment guys talking approvingly about Bitcoin, but it's already a global market, man. It's just, he's a bit late to the game. But maybe he's talking particularly about how the trillions will come in, right? We're still a small market cap, only, 360 billion or whatever we're at today. That is peanuts compared to some of the stuff that BlackRock is dealing with. So we're heading towards that massive market effect. And finally, in a year that has just been an absolute watershed in terms of massive adoption stories, this one from Visa is definitely a top contender. So today, Visa announced that it will be integrating the USDC stablecoin for its network of 60 million merchants. Wow. The partnership between Visa and Circle, who is the USDC issuer, will allow Visa card issuers, like banks, for example, to begin integrating USDC into their services. It's also planning on launching a corporate card that will allow users to be able to spend USDC directly via their cards. Probably see that sometime next year. There is also a plan for USDC transactions between cross-border Visa-friendly companies. So effectively, why do we even need SWIFT anymore? This is one of the world's biggest payment providers. Basically going to SWIFT like, psh, 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 get out of here, man. This is going to dramatically alter the cross-border dollar markets. It's really, really big news. What we're seeing right now are the rails being built for a new global payments system, and the addressable market is incredibly big. Visa, in the press release, they estimate that $120 trillion in payments annually are being made using checks and instant wire transfers, and those cost as much as $50 each, regardless of how big the transaction is. They also said that by using Ethereum to settle payments, that they can achieve the same result as all that stuff, but in a matter of seconds and for a fraction of the cost. So yes, Ethereum will be the blockchain of choice for settling USDC for Visa transfers. They didn't mention any other blockchain in their press release, even though USDC is also issued out on like Solana and Algorand. Not a word about them, just about Ethereum. This is really, really big because it means that Visa, one of the biggest payment providers in the world, has just declared to everyone, we will not be blockbustered. Just like PayPal, right? PayPal and Visa, same year. This is crazy. Visa is moving away from a system of outdated banking ledgers and moving towards the future with a global ledger built on Ethereum. This is Visa saying that stablecoin payments, they are the future of payments. They want to be part of that process. MasterCard and American Express, you've been put on notice. You now have to play catch up. You're late to the game. At this stage, I have to feel like, why is the USA even going to bother developing their own central bank digital currency? Just start issuing out USDC. It's the perfect solution. It's the perfect solution. It's from a US company as well. And it's all settled on Ethereum, which is basically becoming the payment layer of the internet. Sadly, though, just hours after this announcement, the House Democrats in the USA introduced a bill that would introduce significant friction and is basically a backstepping anti-innovation bill in terms of fintech, specifically going after stablecoins. I think it's focused on Facebook's Libra, but it'll also affect things like this news story I just talked about. So you can always count on politicians to screw things up. Thanks, politicians. Anyway, it is just a proposal, so we'll see what comes of it. Obviously Visa's backing stablecoins now, so they might be able to, pay off the politicians to get what they want to happen. Anyway, those are just my two Satoshis, guys. Your question for today: do you think that Bitcoin, it's maybe time for it to take a little breather, have a relax, have a drink, chill out a little bit? Or does Bitcoin not know chill? Or are we about to crack $20,000 this weekend? Let me know down below in the comment section. Thank you so much for watching today's video. Long live the blockchain, and peace out till next time.